Alright, hey YouTube, welcome back. Gonna do another talking head video. A little bit of a different background, something a little more interesting. You can see storage foot lockers over here that I've talked about in other videos, and a couple of my guns in the back. One of them I know has a video, I don't think the other two do, but that's for later. So today's video, I wanted to talk about, we're going back to talking about like a life as a Christian, which if you watch my videos definitely is in everything that I talk about, but specifically today we're talking about your life as ministry. And sorry, I get a swig of something. It's just something in my throat. All right, basically sum this whole thing up, hopefully keep this video kind of short. If you believe that you go and do ministry and it's like a Sunday thing, or it's your Wednesday thing, or whatever, you have a day of the week where you do ministry, you're missing it. You're missing the point. The Bible says that we are to be the salt of the earth, and that doesn't mean we're sometimes useful. It means we're always useful, that we are constantly living as the example of what is right. And that doesn't mean that we're perfect. That doesn't mean that we don't ever make mistakes or make bad judgment calls or any of that. It means that we are constantly in pursuit of Jesus and following his lead and his guiding and his directing for our lives, as well as living out what the commands that he gave us are. Love thy neighbor, all that kind of stuff. Like, even I'm a gun guy, I'm a prepper, all that kind of stuff. Well, what's the end? I do that as a way of providing and taking care of my family and my friends, and ideally the goal is to get to a point where we're so squared away with our ability to provide food and safety, because there is evil in the world, that and water, obviously, and medical, we can open our doors to other people, that we can be God's hands and feet in this world, even when things go horribly wrong, and things, as we see around us, are continually getting worse. And so my goal, my objective, is to be able to continually be the hands and feet of God no matter what. Because just because things get bad, guess what? Your job as a Christian doesn't end. You are still charged with the Great Commission to go and make disciples of all the world. And part of that is being able to provide for them. I've talked about it in another video, but in Timothy chapter 5 verse 8, if I remember correctly, it says that he who does not take care of his family has deserted the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. And yes, that's talking about your immediate family, making sure they're squared away. And I do take that a little bit further, and not me like adding things to the Bible, but just in my application to my life of it is, yes, I provide for and I take care of my family, and I make sure we're ready and we're squared away first. And then I do firmly believe in the blessed to be a blessing thing. So if I have and someone has need, I try to help. I try to give what I can, and if that's my time and knowledge and skills to go help with things. If sometimes that's just my presence. I'm a big dude, and sometimes when people are scared and going through a lot, they just need someone that can walk into a room and they feel safe. They feel like that nothing's going to happen to them anymore. And for a lot of people, that's an invaluable feeling. And so I try to do that for people. I try to, pray. I try to mentor and disciple as many people as I can, whenever I can. And when I say whenever I can, I don't mean that I'm just running around constantly telling people my opinions on things or things like that. And I'm genuinely, I sit there and I pray and I ask the Father who I'm supposed to talk to, and who I'm supposed to give different access levels in my life, and how much time I'm supposed to put into different relationships, so that I'm not neglecting anyone and I'm not spreading myself too thin, because I am just human. There's only so much I can do. And so I want to make sure that I'm obedient and I'm doing what he wants me to do, not what I think he wants me to do, not what I want to do. So part of that, again, is, I read my Bible, I pray, I listen, I do all these things to try to understand what God's telling me to do and just live my life in service to Him so that my life can be an example to others. No, I don't do it right all the time. Yes, I sin. Yes, I do all this other stuff. Like Paul says, I do the things I don't want to do, and I don't do the things I want to do. All of that still applies to me. I struggle with different things, and I keep getting up and trying to get closer to God and further from sin and focus on Him and all that good stuff. And I just want to be an example to everyone around me, and I live my life as my ministry. I lead a team at my church in a ministry capacity for the safety team. I mentioned that in another video. I'm getting ready to lead one of the men's groups for our men's ministry. We're starting back up, and like I do those things as well. But the way I see it is those are an extension of my life as ministry. I don't go, oh, I got to go to church and do ministry now. I think that's the totally wrong way to look at it. I go and I live my life. I live my life at church. I live my life at work. I live my life at home. And in all of those moments, I'm trying to be the example that God's called me to be, and to be there to show His love to people how He wants me to, when He wants me to. Even when it doesn't make sense, even when I don't know if it's even making a difference, if people even notice. If I hear Him say it, I do it. And yeah, I'm feeling like that's where I need to stop this video. So hopefully that's a little bit of encouragement for y'all if you've actually watched through this whole thing. I appreciate it. If you have any questions about, God, guns, prepping, whatever, how it all works together, let me know. And this is all for the glory of the King. Everything in this life is for the glory of the King. And if you don't know, that's Jesus Christ. So I appreciate y'all's time. Peace. I'll catch you next time.